What is going on with my YouTube friends, my Patreon friends, the Warning friends, and the Cave? How we all doing? I got a couple I'm doing back to back here. So I'm doing Powday rig rundown. I want to go through the drum kit and everything, and I'm going to kind of explain myself a little bit on that one. And then I want to get back to the Queen of the Murder Scene record and watch Red Hands Never Fade, because I believe that's my next one. So I did the guitar breakdown, the Danny one, and I'll tag it in the top. And like, I'm a guitar player and a singer by trade, right? But I don't want to sound like the tradesman that's good at everything and like a master of none. Like that's not my thing, right? So I was an audio technician, so I did mixing and stuff. But when I wasn't doing that, I was a stage manager. So my perspective comes from like helping drummers with our backline rigs or like rentals or like tour kits and helping them get what they want, right? So like I've been really hands-on with drums. I can talk more about drums than I can actually play drums, and I can play drums. I've owned backline kits and I've owned drum kits and this and that. But like I just want to like clarify, like I'm not trying to come here and sound like I'm some like pro drummer or something, because that is definitely not the case. Definitely not the case. Okay, my friends, I've been chatting long enough. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check me out on Patreon. Links in the description box. Get your shout outs. Get all the exclusive content, all the stuff that I post over there. And let's do this, my friends. Let's watch this. See what Pal's up to.
Hey guys, so today I'm also going to be doing a rundown of the things I use, and it's going to be a really cool activity, as you saw with Danny yesterday, but now it's going to be with me. Woo! So you guys may or may not know this, but apart from drumming, I have a very big responsibility for our live shows, which is everything like from the tech side. So I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes of what usually goes on when we're playing live. I run the show in Ableton Live 10. This is the session that I have going on for our shows right now. These are the tracks, as you can see. I launch everything with a MIDI click track, which is right there. And here are the tempo changes in some of the songs.
Neat.
And basically, I launch everything through these MIDI pedals, which are the Roland KT10 pedals. This is my start pedal, and this is my stop pedal. I run everything through the trigger module, TM2, Roland, and it's been a really big process, like building all of this session, because at first I just ran the click and the stems, but now I run the visuals that are usually behind me on a screen, and Danny's pedal board, which is really cool. When we implemented that. Look, it's here. So I have all of the notes.
Okay, so what MIDI is? MIDI is basically like a conversion from whatever it is you're using. So in her case, she's got pedals. She's probably got other stuff too. The pedals go down. It's like a 1/4-inch cable. It looks like a little guitar cord into the Roland trigger unit. The Roland trigger unit probably sends out the MIDI information. And MIDI, like basically all she's doing is she's replacing a mouse. Like if you imagine you had this Ableton session set up and you're like a studio engineer or something like that, or like maybe you're a playback engineer and you just had a mouse and you clicked on it. That's what MIDI is basically doing. It's like giving you the ability to click on a bunch of things all at once, right? So if you have a piano, you've got a MIDI piano sound up on your laptop or whatever, your desktop. You could click on it with your mouse and it'll play the note. And if you play the piano, it's like clicking all the notes in the key, right? So that's what MIDI does. And I was gonna say earlier, I wanted to let her finish a bit. You can run video and you can run lighting through Ableton too. Like Ableton was a staple for a long time. You see other ones now, but Ableton's like the one. You know what I mean?
From the pedal board, this is time code, because sometimes we launch the visuals by MIDI, sometimes it's by time code. So it's been a really big...
So by time code, that just means that like when events happen in the song. So okay, so like MIDI would be like you trigger it, you start it, and it like rolls. Time code is the event happens. So at like bar 673, the pyro starts or the video screen fire starts. So like whatever, like it's cues that happen with your metronome. It's wild.
Like learning process, but it's been a really thankfully, since we switched to Ableton Live 10, everything has been running smoothly, and it's been such a weight off my shoulders to use this program. It's been so great, and I can enjoy the shows even more now. And that is a very like summarized version of what I do behind the scenes, because it took me a really long time to get where I am with that program, because at first I used to launch the shows like with a pre-recorded click track and like a stem track, and I ran it on iTunes. I just launched it like that, like play, stop on the computer. But now I have the Ableton and it's great. And
so we used to do that. We used to do that in a band called Feo. We used an iPod instead of iTunes, but like same difference, right? So what happens is instead of running all the fancy Ableton stuff, you send like a headphone, just like a headphone thing out, right? I don't have product mode on. I should hold it back here. And so like your regular headphone tip, if y'all can't see this, just grab your headphones. There's two tips, tip ring sleeve, they call this. So one is left, one is right. So basically the band hears the click track and probably everything, all the tracks. And then the other send to the audio technician out front. They just play the one side that's mono, excuse me. And the audience doesn't hear the click track, just the band hears the click track. So they're splitting, they're using a stereo cable and they're using it as two mono sends, right? So it's clever, right? It's clever. It's stuff that you need to do when you want to be a tight rock band, when you want to kill it before you can afford all the fancy stuff, right?
Can add so many more things to the program that I haven't, but it's been like really cool to figure all of this out. And I've only been using Ableton Live, I don't know, for like, I started May of last year, so
2019,
I
wow.
still haven't even been using the program for a year, but I already did so much with it, and I can't wait to see what more I will do with it. Okay, so now moving on to drumstick, I use Big Firth. Yes, I use 5A,
5As, yeah.
American Classic Hickory
Staples.
drumsticks, and I have the pink version. One time I was in LA, and I just saw them at a store, and I was like, these are amazing. I need to have them. You guys know how much I love the clear pink. So I have both versions.
You know what I like? This is where either I would bet that's the rim of the snare drum. And like, look how consistent she is. She's hitting it so much that it's literally chewing through the stick in one spot. It's not like it's like 4 inches of it. You know what I mean? It's like in one spot. Because that takes a while, man. Like these sticks are built. And, you know, animal or not, you can break sticks, that's fine. But, like, if you're not hitting it in the same spot, it's not going to do this. You're going to get dents and stuff all over it, but it's not going to do this. This is consistency right here.
And I have them stocked up in my house because I break them a lot. Look.
Yeah, she does.
So, but yeah, these are the two that I use all the time. Okay, so drum skins. I use Remo drum skins. I have been using them literally since I started playing. So, like, for 12 years. I use the pinstripe clear drum skin for all of my toms.
So the pinstripe, it just helps with like muting. So it's like, you know, if you have, I don't know what the material is that it makes the drum head, but back in the day they would like lay towels over it or like cut out old batter heads from snare drums and lay it on top. And now like you see like you actually get the rims or like moon gels, or people still do shirts or tape and shit. So this is just like their stab at alleviating a little bit of that. So they're saying, hey, you can still get a good sounding tom. You don't have to obstruct it as much because we added this pinstripe on there. And some of them have clouding on the rim too. I can't tell in this video. Some of them have clouding between the rim and that pinstripe. And it just like, again, it just dampens it a little more. You want that in rock. And she's got moon gels on it too. So all that stuff just, it all helps. Makes sense.
And I use the Remo controlled sound coated drum skin for my snare. And as I said, I've been using this my whole life, and I'm really used to them. I really love them ever since I started playing. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to change them anytime soon. Okay, now this is going to be a lot of fun to explain. This is my drum set. First of all, look at it. Look at
Stunning.
How beautiful it is. I
Love
have
DW.
DW drums. This is a collector series. It's maple with a mahogany finish.
Nice.
It's such a beautiful drum set.
Punchy.
Okay, I use this.
The mahogany finish, in my opinion, for a drum kit is more like it looks really nice. I love mahogany, man. I'm pretty sure that guitar is mahogany. Love it, love it, love it. Maple's really punchy. Like you hear or you see maple blends in lots of like funk and stuff where like the drum kit needs to be like really short, really punchy. You see a lot of maple, so that makes a lot of sense too.
This 10-inch tom, 12-inch tom, 14-inch tom, 16-inch tom.
Also makes sense.
Live, I usually use a 16-inch tom and an 18-inch tom, so I can get a really deep sound.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I remember when we bought an 18-inch floor tom, man, I made every drummer play with it. I was like, hey, I'll tell you what, I was going to put it up here. If you hit it, great. If not, great.
And all my hardware is also DW.
Yeah,
I have this really cool cage that we started implementing right now because this is a replica of the drum set that I was going to use live for my North American tour. But since it was postponed, still, we planned it. So basically, the thinking behind this cage was that if we have a replica of the drum set here, we can practice setting it up in like 15 minutes. Do not take that much time setting it up
leave all the parts where they go.
And
Take the cymbals
everything
off.
has memory locks. And look, I'm a very short drummer. I have short legs, short arms. So like the setup usually took a really long time because we had to make everything really short. But with these memory locks, everything is already set up. So we really do not take that much time anymore to set up the drums, which is usually what took the longest while we were setting up. Okay, so now onto my favorite part of my drum set, which is cymbals. Okay, I use Sabian cymbals. I've been using Sabian cymbals since I was 6 years old. I've been playing with them for 12 years. I'm extremely proud to be part of the Sabian family. Okay, so for crashes, I use an 18-inch AAX explosion crash on my left. I use an 16-inch AAX explosion crash on my right. I have an HHX Evolution Ozone, an 18-inch one, and it's just so amazing. This is my favorite cymbal out of my whole set. It just has this really dark color to it, and I just absolutely adore it.
It's almost like a China, but not.
AAX 14-inch stay hats on my right, and I have some 14-inch HHX groove hats here on my left. I have this little AAX splash, which I really love using live. And now I have my favorite ride of all time. This is an HHX raw bell dry ride. I absolutely love
raw bell, that's
this
what they call
ride.
It.
I have tried many Sabian rides, but this is just my favorite. It has this really clean, crisp sound, and I just love it, love it, love it.
It was a great walkthrough. I wish you would have done more. There's probably more out there, right? Is there more out there? So okay, there's a couple like concepts in drums that she is obviously killing, right? So one of them is like, if you're gonna have big drums and toms and stuff, you don't want them to be similarly pitched. So you want more movement in them, right? So back to the funk comparison, there's a lot of chromatics that happen in funk or in like jazz and like other things that are like fast drumming, right? So you might have like a 12, a 13, a 14, and a 16-inch tom. So now they're really close. Like 12 and 13 inches is like really close, right? And then 14. So her having 10, 12 makes a lot of sense because you can kind of get like a whole tone difference between them. And then 14, 16 is cool. And then the 18 or the 16, 18, it's the same thing. Like it's a 2-inch difference. You can get such a big sound out of those, right? Like they're not, you can pitch them so differently. The 10 you could pitch quite high. The 16 you could pitch quite low, right? The cymbals are cool. So same deal. So she's got a 16 and an 18 for crashes. So that, because like even if you have a different brand of cymbal, a 16-inch sounds like a 16-inch kind of at the end of the day, give or take. Like I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but you don't want two 16-inch cymbals. You want a 16 and an 18. And then her other 18-inch cymbal was the one with all the holes in it. So now you've got two 18s, but they're totally different sonically. The hi-hats, I think the open one, the one that she leaves open, I think that one's going to be a little bit crispier sounding. Whereas the groove hats, they're more like throaty and rock and roll. It sounds like mid-stick, like when you're hitting them. Splash cymbals, just like accent stuff. That was all cool. The microphones, I was really interested, man. They're spending some money in their production. When I manned up, I'll call it, and bought myself that kit. It comes in like a suitcase, a silver suitcase, the Sennheiser kit, the Tom kit. They're the 906s, I believe, and they sound so good. She had them on her. They come in a 4, 5, or a 6-pack, I think. And she had it on her snare and all her toms. And they're just like, they got this nice top end, real weighty low end, real punchy low end, nice and clear. They clip on, so it'll help with like a little bit of the deadening of the drum too, because it clips onto the rack of the rim of the drum, right? Love it, man. Beta 52 on the kick drum too, also a staple, big, huge, like nice and all that low stuff off the res head. Anyway, I'm excited to watch this. I think Ali's singing this one though, right? Anyway, let's go.
I was correct! Tell me what I must do to atone for what I did to your soul.
Was Danny okay?
Tell me to step over for you. What is your desire? 'Cause it is done. One word and it'll be done. The game you already won. Invincible, I am bleeding, I'm pleading, listen to me. I know that it was just a mistake, but you don't forget that, you don't forget, yeah, you don't forget. To tell you, to tell me, to tell you that it's alright.
Oh man, she sounds fantastic. Oh, I love the like energy to her voice right now, man. Red hands never fade. I'm trying to catch it. Oh, I gotta turn it up some more. I gotta go back more. Come on, man.
I was correct! Tell me what I must do to atone for what I did to your soul. Tell
great turnaround.
One word and it'll be done. The game you already won. Invincible, I am bleeding, I'm pleading, listen to me. I know that it was just a mistake, but you don't forget, man, you don't forget, yeah, you don't forget. To tell you, to tell me, to tell you that it's alright. When we take another step closer towards him, to tell you, to tell me, to tell you that it's alright, but we know it ain't.
Oh, that's so rock and roll. Like she's just, I think that riff was just her bending that low note and then like, you know, popping the octave, but it's got this like, whoa, 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 like this like nasty like walk to it. Oh, that was tough, my friends. I couldn't quite make it out because it's got this like high kind of high presence to it. I don't want to say like a 1K, not like quite like a Boston tone, but like, oh, that was cool, man. That was a cool riff.
To tell you, to tell me, to tell you that it's alright, but we know it ain't. 'Cause the red has never faded. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, oh. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, oh. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, oh. Whoa, whoa, oh.
That was tight too, man. You know what I want to take a second to talk about? In the lane or in the vein of the production stuff, I like that their vocals don't have a whole bunch done to them. Like that was a really dry vocal for a live performance, in my opinion. But I kind of like that because it shows how tight they were. There's no hiding and reverbs and delays and stuff like that. And like you can even, there's even tricks. I don't know how corrective you can be with this, but like if you add like reverb, it'll like push things, or it gives you like forgiveness when you're flat. Like I don't really know what they are. I try not to like learn all that stuff because then I'll get lazy. But there's all kinds of stuff you can do with like live processing, just like if you limit it to like compressors, delays, and reverbs, the primary ones. There's a lot of stuff you can do to correct vocals, and that was just like a nice dry vocal. Like here's our voices, here's what we sound like, and I dug that, man. I dug that. It was tight.
When did you get to decide? Was it a matter of pride? If it's a price of betraying, what is it I'm paying? It's overdue. Your reason is overdue. Come on, I just want the truth. 2 hours and move the range and the chains that tie you down. I know that it was just a mistake, but you don't forget, man, you don't forget, yeah, you don't forget. To tell you, to tell me, to tell you that it's alright. When we take another step closer towards him, to tell you, to tell me, to tell you that it's alright, but we know it ain't. 'Cause the red has never faded.
I love the attitude, man. I love the energy. Danny's voice right now, man. Whatever it is she's doing with that like growly, barky, bitey stuff. Oh, I could listen to that all day. I could listen to that all day. Yeah, give me some guitar. Come on, pal. Come on, come on, come on. Give me another one. Give me another one. Do it again.
To tell you, to tell me, to tell you that it's alright. When we take another step closer towards him, to tell you, to tell me, to tell you that it's alright, but we know it ain't. 'Cause the red has never faded. Oh, 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 oh.
Killer, man. I thought I read that Ali was singing on this one, but I mean, they were all singing. They were all putting it out on that one, man. Wow. Cool record, though, man. Cool record. I was trying to catch the lyrics, but I was excited about the energy. I did catch a handful of them. I got the concept. I got it. I got it. I thought that was really cool, man. I thought it was really neat. And again, like back to the conversation of being selective of what cymbals and things, like, you know, her laying into the 18 and then using the also 18 but the darker one as the accent, right, to like turn the round back around. It's smart, man. It's smart playing. And watching her play those fills too, man, just makes me so happy. Y'all know how I love me some drumming. Danny sounded fantastic. I love the vocal performance. I like the grip, man. I dug all that like energy, the like middle finger kind of energy. That's what I was kind of getting. You know what I mean? All the instrumentation, man, was like great. Bass and guitar obviously sound fantastic. All the vocals like that, I love hearing them all sing. This is great, man. This is great. My friends, if you've made it this far, I appreciate you. We'll see you all again soon.